My name is Diana.
I'm Aubrey.
Haley.
Valerie.
And we did our infographic about Under Armour, who faced a little crisis in the 2014 Winter Olympics in Sochi, Russia. So Under Armour, to give a little background, they're an originator of performance apparel, and they create apparel and products for all professional athletes and just regular athletes as well, that is meant for any type of condition that they perform in. And so for the 2014 Olympics, they created speed skating suits for the U.S. speed skating team. And they were these high-tech suits. They were called the Match 39, and they were meant to withstand the conditions in Sochi, Russia, which obviously were really cold. And so the suit went through 300 hours of wind tunnel testing. It was tested for sea level altitude, and they created a little vent on the back that was to allow heat to escape while they were doing the competitions. And so the suits were given to the athletes in the beginning of January, where the athletes were able to train in them for a month under simulated conditions that they were going to be under in Sochi. So I'm going to pass it on to Aubrey, and she's going to talk about the problem.
Yeah, so the main buzz started when Shawnee Davis was expected to win gold. There was a lot of buzz around her. She was the main focus of the event, and she didn't even come close to getting second or third at all, along with the rest of the U.S. skating team. So the main problem was they decided, okay, what is our strategy? Why aren't we performing as well as we should be? And they all sat down and started talking about the suits and how they didn't feel they had enough movement. There were so many problems with so much heat escaping that their form was off. They weren't fast enough. They felt very tight, and so they got together and they even complained to the Under Armour seamstress and told them, like, a couple of days before the event, hey, we need to add more plastic to the back. We need to really do something about these suits. There were a couple people that actually went back to the old Under Armour suits and were like, we really need something different. And so in the end, the result was that not one American ended up placing above 7th place, and when in 2010 they won 4 medals total, so it was a huge difference for them.
So to alleviate the crisis, Under Armour immediately sent their employees over to Sochi. This was before the Olympics were over, obviously. This was right when announcements or people started saying that Under Armour suits were the reason that everyone was doing so poorly in the Olympics. So they immediately had their employees go over there, fix up their suits, sew up those vents on the back that they thought were slowing them down, and even change some of the athletes' suits to the older version. They also never blamed the skaters for being the reason that they did so poorly. They took full ownership of what happened. They maintained transparency and put their employees right in front of the media to answer all questions, and that slowed down the discussion of who or what really was to blame for their losses. And they fully humanized their brand by calling upon other sponsored athletes from all different industries that they support to support their brand on social media. Like Michael Phelps and a couple other athletes tweeted positive things that got a lot of attention too. And then to fully end the crisis with a bang, Under Armour was able to announce their 8-year extension to their program of sponsoring the speed skaters. So obviously they were doing a good job, and the skaters were still happy with them as a sponsor. Throughout, Under Armour used the two-way symmetrical model to make strategic adjustments and maintain all the positive feelings they have with their brand.
So while Under Armour did an amazing job responding to the crisis, we still feel that there was a few things that they could have done differently. So in terms of recommendations, we suggested that first they check for credibility, which, as Diana had mentioned, they did go through rigorous tests. However, we feel that they could have brought in a third party to test the suits just to ensure that they were as amazing as they claimed they were. Second, reduce the hype. So by declaring that the suits were the fastest speed skating suits in the world,